Hello everyone, welcome to our channel RecentJobs. If you are new here, don't forget to hit subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Today we are going to talk about something really exciting in the world of Java development, that is Springboot. If you are looking to build application quickly and efficiently, this is something you need to know about. If you are preparing for your first job in Java development, you are in the right place. We'll go over some of the most common questions you might face and we give you tips on how to answer them. Let's get started. What is Spring Boot? Spring Boot is a powerful framework based on Java. It's a part of larger Spring framework. But what makes Spring Boot so special? Well, it's designed for rapid application development. This means you can build application much faster than using with traditional methods. It has extra support of auto configuration and embedded application servers like Tomcat, Jetty, etc. What is the difference between Spring and Spring Boot? First, let's talk about what each one is. Spring is a web application framework based on Java. It provides a lot of tools and libraries to create customized web applications. On the other hand, Spring Boot is a module of Spring. It is designed to simplify the process of creating Spring applications. Now let's break down some key differences. First, we will discuss complexity. Spring can be more complex. You have to manually customize your applications, which takes more time and effort. Coming to Spring Boot, it is much less complex than Spring. It comes with lot of pre-configured settings and conventions that help you get started quickly without needing to set up everything manually. Spring takes an unopinionated view. It gives you a lot of options to customize your applications just the way you like. On the other hand, Spring Boot has a more opinionated approach, meaning that it makes some decisions for you. What are the features of Spring Boot? Spring Boot has many useful features. Here are some of key ones. Auto configuration. Auto configuration is like having a smart assistant. Based on the components you add, Spring Boot automatically configures your application, so you don't have to do it manually. So this saves you a lot of time and effort. Coming to Spring Boot Starter POM. POM stands for Project Object Model. It provides ready-made dependency kits for different types of projects, making setup easier. Coming to Spring Boot CLI. CLI stands for Command Line Interface. The Spring Boot CLI is a tool you can quickly create Spring applications from the command line. Coming to Actuator. It is a set of tools that help you monitor and manage your Spring Boot applications. This makes it easier to keep your application running smoothly. Coming to embedded servers, Spring Boot comes with embedded servers like Tomcat and many more. This means you don't need to install a separate server to run your application. These are some of the key features of Spring Boot that makes development easier and faster. What are the advantages of using Spring Boot? Some of advantages of using Spring Boot are listed below. First one, it is easy to understand and develop Spring application, meaning that Spring Boot makes it really easy to build and understand Spring applications. Coming to development, Spring Boot is a faster development because with Spring Boot it set up many things automatically, so you don't have to spend a lot of time on configuring everything. Coming to configuration, it has less configuration. Spring Boot comes with smart default setting, so you don't have to manually configure many parts of your application. And coming to XML needed, Spring Boot doesn't require any XML, meaning that in older Spring projects you had to write a lot of XML configuration files. So Spring Boot simplifies this by letting you use just a few annotations to set up your project. This makes your code cleaner and easier to manage. These are some of advantages using with Spring Boot. What does the Spring Boot application annotation do internally? The Spring Boot application annotation combines three annotations, or we can say that it is a combination of three annotations. Those three annotations are configuration, enable auto configuration, and component scan. Coming to auto configuration, it is used to enable Spring Boot auto configuration mechanism. Component scan, it enables component scan on the package where application is located. Coming to configuration, this allows to register extra beans in the context or import additional configuration classes. What are Spring Boot starters and what are available starters? Spring Boot starters are set of convenient dependency management providers that can be used in the application to enable dependencies. These starters make development easy and rapid. All the available starters come under the Organization Spring Framework Boot group. What is Springboot Dependency Management? Springboot Dependency Management is basically used to manage dependencies and configuration automatically without specifying the version for any of the dependencies. Let's understand with an example. Suppose you need to use libraries for web development and database access. With Spring Boot, you can simply add starters like Spring Boot Starter Web and Spring Boot Starter Data JPA to your project. Spring Boot will automatically include the right versions of all required libraries, so you don't have to manage these versions yourself. Is it possible to change the port of the embedded Tomcat server in Spring Boot? Yes, it is possible to change the port of the embedded Tomcat server in Spring Boot application. The simple way is to set the server port property in your applications properties file. For example, to set the port to 8081, add the following property to the application property file. Server port equals to 8081 or 8081. What is Spring Initializer? Spring Initializer is a web application that helps you to create an initial Spring Boot project structure and provides a Maven or Gradle file to build your code. It solves the problem of setting a framework when you are starting a project from scratch. Let's understand with an example. Imagine you are starting a new web application. With Spring Initializer, you can quickly generate a project with web support and database connectivity all set up and ready to go. Just download the generated project and you are all set to start developing your application. How do you secure a Spring Boot application? Securing your Spring Boot application with Spring Security. It is essential for protecting your data and ensuring that only authorized users can access your resources. By adding the necessary dependency and configuring security settings, you can keep your application safe and secure. Add Spring Boot Starter Security dependency and configure security settings using Web Security Configurer adapter. What are starter dependencies? Starter dependencies are predefined collection of libraries and dependencies that you can add to your Spring Boot project to easily include specific functionalities. They help you get started quickly by providing all the necessary components you need for a particular feature. Like we need to import Spring Boot Starter web dependency for creating a web application. So it includes some tags. Coming to dependency tag, this is used in Maven to declare a dependency that your project needs. Coming to group ID tag, this specifies the group or organization that publishes the dependency. And coming to artifact ID tag, this is the name of the specified dependency you want to include. What is dependency injection and its type? Dependency injection is a design pattern that enables to produce loosely coupled components. In dependency injection, an object ability to complete a task depends on another object. There are three types of dependency injections: constructor injection, setter injection, and third type is field injection. By understanding and using constructor, setter, and field injection, you can create more flexible and maintainable code. How do you deploy Spring Boot application in Tomcat? Whenever you will create your Spring Boot application and run it, Spring Boot will automatically detect the embedded Tomcat server and deploy your application on Tomcat. After successful execution of your project, you will be able to launch your REST endpoints and get a response. What is the main class in Spring Boot? Usually in Java application, a class that has main method, it is considered as main class. Similarly, in Spring Boot application, main class is the class which has a public static void main method and which starts up with the Spring application context. Which is the Spring Boot latest version? The latest version of Spring Boot is 2.6.0. It came out with lot of dependency and upgrades and supported by Java 15. Explain the term auto configuration in Spring Boot. Auto configuration is a feature in Spring Boot that automatically configures your application based on the dependencies that you have added. Instead of having to manually set up everything, auto configuration is triggered by the enable auto configuration annotation to configure application context. What is application.properties file used for? Application.properties file is used to define configuration settings for your Spring Boot application such as database connection details. What is a Spring Bean? Spring Bean is simply an object that is managed by Spring IOC. IOC stands for Inversion of Control Container. It's a core concept in Spring that helps with creating, configuring, and managing objects in your application. How do you define a Spring Bean in Springboot application? You can define a Spring Bean using annotations like component, service, repository, or by using bean annotation in a configuration class. What is the use of REST controller annotation in Spring Boot? This annotation is used to create web services in Spring. The REST controller annotation is a combination of controller and response body, meaning that the methods will return data directly, usually as JSON. What is Spring Data JPA? Here, JPA stands for Java Persistence API. It is a part of Spring Data project that makes easier to work with Java Persistence API. It helps you to manage data access and perform data operation with less effort and code. Spring Data JPA eliminates the need for writing repetitive data access code. Instead of manually writing implementation for create, read, and update delete operations, you can use pre-built methods provided by Spring Data Java Persistent API. What is the difference between controller and REST controller annotation in Spring Boot? Controller annotation is used to define a controller class that handles web requests and returns view names. Coming to REST controller annotation, it is a convenience annotation that combines controller and response body, meaning it returns JSON or XML responses directly. What is @request mapping used for? @request mapping is used to map web requests to specific handler methods in a controller. It can be used at both levels, that is class and method levels. What is the use of Spring Boot Dev Tools? Spring Boot Dev Tools provide features to make development faster, such as automatic restart, live reload, and configurations for improved development experience. How do you secure a Spring Boot application? You can secure a Spring Boot application by adding Spring Boot status security dependency and configuring security setting in a class annotated with @enable web security. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching and good luck with your interview preparation. See you in the next video.